All right, what's up out there to all of my fellow gold diggers? This is your girl Rita, also known as the self-proclaimed gold digger. If this is your first time to my channel, welcome. I am so glad to have you. But if you are a fellow gold digger, welcome back because I love and I appreciate each and every one of you. And this is Tipsy Tuesday. Tonight, we are talking about how you can save money by having a no spin challenge. So I have about 13 tips that I'm going to be sharing with you, and we are going to get into that in just a moment. Before I get into tonight's topic, I always have to do my social media checks to make sure I am good on all ends and make sure y'all can hear me. If for some reason you cannot hear me, please, please, please let me know. But let me see. Let me make sure we're good. All right. We are good there. And I'm going to check one other spot and make sure we are good there as well. Let's see. Really quickly. I hope y'all are having a great week. It's good to be back because I know I have not really been posting as much as I want to. All right, we're good on that end as well. All right, so I know I haven't been posting as much as I want to, but your girl is going to be back, and that leads me into I do have a few church announcements for you guys. So what prompted this video is because I am going to be doing a no spin challenge, and I would love for y'all to join me. The no spin challenge, to give you time to prepare. It is not next week. Well, is it next week? Shoot. It's not next week. It's the following week. It's going to be the week of Sunday, April the 13th through Saturday, April the 19th. So I hope you're able to join me because I'm giving y'all a heads up and everything. If you are able to do so, please put challenge accepted into the chat so I know that you'll be rocking with me on the no spin challenge. Now, I know you might be like, girl, I don't know about all this. That's okay, because I'm going to go into that today or tonight to give you some tips and strategies you can use if you want to join the challenge. So that was the first church announcement. The no spin challenge is going to be Sunday, April 13th through Saturday, April the 19th. Okay. Also, either tomorrow or the following day, I am going to announce our April book club selection. This one will be a fiction book, just to give you a heads up. The other two were nonfiction books. So we are going to read a fiction book. And also for the upcoming months, I'm also open to suggestions. So if you have a particular book that you think that I should read or check out, please let me know. But I will have the April book club book announcement coming out very, very soon. And on Saturday, I will have one of y'all's favorite videos is going to be Side Hustle Saturday. So I know y'all love when I do the Side Hustle Saturday. So I will be doing a Side Hustle Saturday this Saturday, April the 5th. Haven't decided on the time, but y'all know it'll probably be like between 12 and 1 or something like that. Around that time, that is what is going on. Okay. So this concludes your church announcements. Please govern yourselves accordingly. All right. All right. Oh, hold on. I see. What's up, Still Rocks? I see I have a comment from you. Good to see you as always. All right. Still Rocks is one of my A1 day ones. But if you are new to the channel or new to Tipsy Tuesday, basically what we do on Tuesday nights is we take some sips. Your girl is still sipping on water, even though I did really good. I didn't have any alcohol all during the month of March. But we take some sips as I share some tips. Okay, so just got water, whatever you decide to sip on, that is up to you. If you enjoy my content, if you're liking what you see, please be sure to like the video, share the video with a friend, and please be sure you're tapped in by being subscribed to my channel. Thank you so much. I told you guys I'm going to continue to thank y'all for helping my channel to grow. I really, really, truly appreciate it. Okay. Also, trying to get better about plugging different stuff. Y'all know a lot of my videos or some of my older videos, I was talking about mystery shopping. If you're still interested in the mystery shopping list, then y'all just need to hit me up on IG, and that is at Gold Digger Chick, GOAL, and Chick is CHIC. Send me a DM and I'll send you the mystery shopping list. And also, if you want one-on-one coaching with me, then click on my Calendly link. All of that stuff is in like my bio, my profile, all that kind of stuff for you to click on those links if you're interested in it, because I've been having some people reaching out for different stuff, but all of it is in my bio. So if you found my email, you should be able to find the other stuff too. All right. So, y'all, let's go ahead and get into it. So, if you have not heard of a no spend week, then I am going to explain it to you. So basically, a no spend week is also called a spending freeze, and it's where you choose to stop spending money on specific things, more so things that are non-essential. What are non-essential stuff? You might be asking because you like, girl, everything I buy is essential to me. But typically, when we say non-essential stuff, we are talking about stuff outside of like your mortgage or rent, your utilities like water, gas, electric, those kinds of things. Making sure you're not spending money on eating out, buying stuff, buying clothes, shopping, traveling, that kind of thing. Now, it's up to you if you want to spend money on gas, like for your vehicles. Typically, when I have done a no spend challenge in the past, I did not spend any money on gas as well as groceries, because groceries is another big one as well. And I made sure I had enough to sustain me for the week. So keep that in mind when it comes to your no spend challenge. Now, I started doing these around the time, 2021 ish, when things were looking, kind of dicey. And I was saving up to help pay off some of my debt. I was doing them back then more regularly, like at least 2 to 3 times out of the year. And you would be surprised how much money you would save, especially during that time. I was definitely using more of my envelope system, where I had allocated a certain amount of money for me to use as discretionary income for the week. So I had my little envelopes with all my little money in there for eating out or gas and stuff like that. But during the week of my no spend challenge, I didn't spend any money on my regular. Hear me? Here we go. I must have bad internet connection. So hopefully y'all can still see me and everything, because I think I'm back. But what I was saying is that first time that I either between $400 to $500. I can't remember off the top of my head. I saved a few $100s. And if you take it each week, like if you were able to save $200 a week, or just, I shouldn't say a week, $200 from that week, and you did that every month or even every other month, imagine how that would add up over time. Okay. But you can honestly do a no spend week for any amount of time. You can do it for one day, you can do it for 1 week, you can do it for 1 month, you can do it for a quarter. There are some people who do it for a whole year. I have not done it for a whole year or a quarter. I found that or even a month, if I'm being honest. I found that the week is a good sweet spot for me, because it stretches me enough to kind of like be cognizant not to spend. It's not a easy challenge, or so to speak, but it's also not a hard challenge as well. But I know a day would be very easy for me to do, but a week, it definitely pushes me, because I have to really plan ahead, think ahead, and figure out what I'm going to do. So a week is a good sweet spot for me. And I feel like if as starting out, it might be a good sweet spot for you. But if you're like, oh girl, a week is too much, then see how you do for a day, or see how you do over a weekend or 2 days or something like that. But for me, the 1 week no spend challenge is pretty good. It's challenging enough that it pushes me, but not so much that I'm like just performing horribly and then end up spending money and everything. But you can do whatever amount of time that you want. Okay. Now, one of the reasons, or several reasons, why I recommend a no spend challenge is because you will find that you will save money. You will save some money. Just like I said, my first time doing it, I saved anywhere from like $400 to $500. You will find ways to save money, or see where you're spending your money on, and have a little bit of extra money in your pocket. Also, when you do the no spend challenge, it really gives you an idea of what you're spending money on, or it helps you to be more thoughtful about the things that you're spending money on. And it kind of forces you to kind of create a budget, or at least it got me thinking more of making a budget. Now, I'm being honest, I'm not really a budget girly. Like, usually when I was doing the envelope system, I considered that a budget, because it's like, okay, in these envelopes, I have this amount of money to spend on this particular thing, whether it was eating out or clothes or whatever. So in regards to that, the envelope system was my thing for a budget. But even with that, it showed me what I was spending money on. It helps me to be more cognizant of what I was spending money on. So the no spend challenge, yes, you will save money, but it also opens up your eyes to what you are spending money on, and it could potentially help you change some of your money spending habits. Okay, so I hope you will join the challenge with me, which is going to be Sunday, April the 13th through Saturday, April 19th. We're going to try and do, well, no, we're not going to try. I'm going to do a no spend challenge, and I would love for you to join in with me. So let's go ahead and give you some tips so that you can have a successful no spend challenge. These are going to be 13 tips that I'm going through. Okay. So the first thing I have is, when doing the challenge, I've kind of laid out the groundwork for you, or the foundation at least, but I want to make sure you set clear rules for yourself for your challenge. So if you're like, hey, girl, I don't think I can stop spending money on, I don't know, I need my gas or whatever. I'm going to spend money on that. But you set clear rules and expectations for how you want your challenge to be. Okay. So you can say, I'm going to stop spending money on eating out. I will not eat out all this week. Or if you have a habit of going shopping or something like that, a couple of days after work, say, I will not spend any money going shopping and picking up stuff, or picking up random items outside of my grocery list. Because this is also what I would do sometimes. Like, I would go grocery shopping, but then I would forget something, or forget an item, or I would prepare a certain meal and that needed a certain item, and then I would run back out to the store to get that was needed for the meal. You can even say, hey, nope, I'm going to stick within my grocery budget. Whatever I spend money on for my groceries, that's all I'm going to spend. If I'm missing an item, I'm not running out to the store. Or you can do it how I'm doing it, where I'm not spending making any unnecessary purchases or unnecessary expenses with my money during that week. But just make sure you have clear rules and outlines for how you want to do the challenge. Even write it down, remind yourself, put it on a sticky note, something, so you can see every day, like, I will not spend money on this. Okay. So that you are clear and concise. Another way that you can also structure the challenge, if you're like, I don't know if I can just, stop spending money altogether on stuff, you can also create a spending limit for yourself. So during the week, you can say, hey, I am only going to allocate, $50 for discretionary spending, or I'm only going to allocate $100 for discretionary spending during this week. And once you spent that money, you can't spend it on anything else. However you want to structure the challenge, you do so. Okay. Make it where it's feasible for you, but also make it where it's a little bit challenging for you to do. So if on a regular basis that you spend $200 a week, okay, don't say, well, I'm not going to spend over $200 a week. Like, that's not pushing yourself. That's not challenging yourself. Maybe say, okay, I won't spend over $150 or something like that. Try to challenge yourself so that you're not overspending. Because even with that, if you typically spend $200 and you say, I'm not going to spend over $150, guess what? Now you just saved $50. Imagine if you do that, once a month, twice a month, something like that, where you just kind of adjust your budget or what you're spending. And as I mentioned before, doing these no spend challenges it really is eye opening. So even if you said, hey, I typically spend $200, so I'm going to not spend over $150 during this week or whatever, you might find that really you thought you spent $200 each week or whatever, but in reality, you spend closer to like $300. So it really shows you what you're spending money on when you're doing the challenge. So set clear rules for your challenge of how you want it to pan out. Okay. Also, the second thing that I have is make sure you plan in advance. So this is why I'm telling y'all ahead of time to get y'all together so you can get mentally prepared as well as physically prepared, because there is some mental preparation that is involved when it comes to saying, oh, I cannot spend money on this, especially when you have the money. So when you have the money and you're telling yourself, I can't spend money, and in that moment you really want that thing, there is some mental preparation that you need to go through. So there's mental preparation and there's physical preparation. And the physical preparation, it might be, hey, you got to get some stuff in line so you can be able to meal prep for that particular week. Or just like I was telling you, when I did my no spend challenge, I had went ahead and got, my gas and stuff like that for the week ahead to make sure I had enough to last me for that week, so that I wouldn't run out. Now I didn't. Now I will say this: even as I was planning ahead, it's not like I went over in my gas budget, or even if I bought groceries ahead of time, it was not like, okay, I'm going overboard on my groceries because I know I can't buy anything this week. I still kept my same grocery budget for the week, and I said, okay, I'm buying groceries, but I was buying it more strategically in terms of what can I meal prep that will last me this week as well as into the next week. So that doesn't, when you plan ahead, that doesn't mean you overspend the week before or overspend the week after the challenge. It's like you still want to try and stick within your budget and stretch yourself and see how you can work around the parameters. Now, the third tip I have for you to have a successful no spend week is to set a goal and know your why. Y'all know I am the goal digger. So I'm going to say you need to have a goal. You need to have a finish line, something that you can see, something that you are working towards. So that is very, very important. Okay. Hold on, y'all. I see just now. Can y'all still hear me and see me? There we go. My internet is acting up, I see today. But have a goal, know your why for your challenge, because you want to have something that you are striving to achieve. And what can your goal be? You might say, hey, I just want to save money. Now, if that is your goal, I'm going to tell you that is not specific enough. You need to say, I want to save, what if it's $100, $200, or you say, I am saving $100 for me to be able to go on vacation, or I'm saving $200 to pay this particular debt, or whatever it is, or I'm saving $200 to buy this big purchase or this special item that you want to get for yourself or for your household or for a friend or family or whatever. But know your why, set a goal so you know what you're working for, because it comes in handy when you're tempted to spend and you're like, nope, I can't spend this money because this money that I'm going to be saving is going to be used for X, Y, and Z. Fill in the blank of whatever it is that your goal is, okay? And what your why is, all right? So we all need a why. We all need a goal, because otherwise, if we don't have a why or we don't have a goal, we're like, what am I doing this for? Like, what is the whole purpose of it? So having a why and having a goal, it really gives you purpose and meaning so you can do what you need to do and execute the challenge effectively, okay? All right, the fourth tip I have for you to have a successful no spend challenge is to make sure you leave your credit and your debit cards at home. Yes. You need to leave your credit and your debit cards at home. All right. This reduces your impulse to spend. So don't even bring them with you. Do not. It's a no spend week. What you need them for? You don't need them. So leave them at home. Take them out your wallet. Do all the things. And I am even going to suggest for you, if there are frequent websites that you frequently visit and go to and then start buying stuff, go ahead and unlink them credit cards, unlink them debit cards, unlink that PayPal account from those websites so you are not tempted to spend. So that goes back to the other tip I said, plan ahead. So this is part of your preparation, okay? And mentally, emotionally, you might be like, girl, I'm feeling some kind of way about that. And it's okay. You can feel how you feel, but understand why you're feeling that way and still do what you need to do. So leave your credit cards and your debit cards at home. Go ahead and unlink those cards from those various websites. Unlink that PayPal account from the different websites as well, so you are not tempted to spend. Okay. Now, I do say keep a small amount of cash on you for emergency purposes only. Like I always have a certain amount of money on me for emergencies, and it's so like it's like a stash or whatever. I have that whether I have a no spend week or if it's just a regular week. And that is so ingrained in me to always have extra stash that I don't even count that as my money. I just know if for some reason I forgot my wallet, I forgot my purse or something like that, I have this stash in this special place that has X amount of money in there for me. So I do suggest that or whatever. And you might already have a secret stash or whatever for emergencies that you keep handy for yourself. But if you don't, definitely do that. But just know that it is strictly for emergency purposes only. Okay. Now, the fifth thing, well, I'm telling y'all to leave your credit cards and your debit cards at home. The other thing I would like for you to do is go ahead and unsubscribe to certain subscriptions, at least temporarily. And these might be not necessarily the monthly subscriptions, even though you might need to do that, like monthly subscriptions like Netflix. But if you have weekly subscriptions of like meal delivery services, you may want to consider unsubscribing to that. And if you decide to unsubscribe to some of those monthly subscriptions, you may be surprised that you really don't miss them. You may be surprised that you don't want to take the time and the effort to go back and resubscribe to them, and you realize, hey, that money was just draining my account, and I really don't miss not having certain things. Something else I want to make sure that you're unsubscribed to is make sure you're unsubscribing to the emails and like for sales and stores who are marketing to you. So go ahead. I know like with Gmail, they have the special promotional thing. So promotional inbox or whatever, go ahead in that inbox and just go ahead and unsubscribe to those particular emails so you're not inundated with those or tempted to spend or seeing, hey, this particular store is having a sale this week, and I think I'm just going to go browse and look and see what they got going on and see what I want to buy, because that's how they market to you guys. Y'all know I love talking to y'all about marketing, and they are very, very strategic, and they have all the research and all the data on you to know how to get you to spend your money. So when it comes to the no spend challenge, you also have to be strategic so that you are not tempted to buy or tempted to spend. Okay. And then, like I said, you might realize once you unsubscribe, you really don't even miss not seeing those emails or not having particular services sent to you. Okay. Now, the next thing I have, the sixth thing that I would like for you to do as we're preparing for the no spend week is to go ahead and delete, uninstall any money spending apps that you have on your phone. What are money spending apps? We want you to reduce the temptation, but these money spending apps, that is like the DoorDash, the Uber Eats, the Grubhub. Okay, go ahead, delete them off, because I already know you got to have your card linked and everything. So go ahead, delete those apps off your phone for the no spend week, so you're not tempted to order anything from them. Okay. Something else I want you to also delete, or apps that I want you to delete, are any food apps and store apps. So if you got the Chick-fil-A app, if you got the Walmart app, if you have the different apps to stores, go ahead and delete those, because they send y'all those push notifications and the little pop-ups will tell you that they have a sale going on or a little special, or they got the new drink and stuff, and now you're tempted and you're like, I want to go check out this drink. All right. So go ahead, uninstall the food apps, the store apps, all of that, so they're not sending you any push notifications that they have this special going on Friday, and now you're tempted to spend money on it. Okay. All right. Go ahead and do that. All right. And let me see. All right. I see Still Rocks has some comments, so let me look at those really quickly. All right. Let's see. Oh goodness. Hold on. I missed a bunch of comments. I'm sorry. Okay, so Still Rock says, y'all ladies, especially, hold on. Are you targeting us? I haven't even read any further, but I already feel attacked, Still Rocks. Y'all ladies especially might need to unsubscribe to those YouTube and TikTokers that are always showing off fancy things that they bought recently. Yes, that is a good point, but I still feel slightly attacked. Why is it just us? I'm sure they target men too, but but yes, unsubscribe to those particular not the whole YouTube app or whatever, or the whole TikTok app unless you're really really tempted, but just, temporarily unsubscribe or unfollow certain people who are um tempting you to buy stuff. And then Still Rock says, he also says, I personally had to unsubscribe to those YouTubers that are always getting the new food items at restaurants. See, so it's not just us ladies, Still Rocks. I'll see a guy eating a burger on YouTube. Next thing I know, I'm at the drive-thru. That's how it is. It really is like that. And they make it sound so good and make it look so, tempting and delicious that now we want to try. And we be having a little bit of FOMO, like we don't want to miss out. Like let me see if it's as good as they say it is and stuff. Okay. And then Still Rock says those push notifications, yes, they will get you every time, because I know I am tempted. Now, I will say, like with Chick-fil-A, because I know there are people always marketing saying, oh, you download my app. And I'm like, no, I don't need another app on my phone to be tempting me to buy anything. Now, here's a little tidbit for you that I don't have in my notes here. If you do have those food apps, you could potentially leave them on if you do have strong willpower. So like with Chick-fil-A, like I know with my points or whatever, if it's a day where you're tempted to spend money or you forgot to pack your lunch and you didn't meal prep, or you didn't meal prep like you're supposed to, see how many Chick-fil-A points you got to get a free item where you're not buying anything. Okay. So if hey, I got some points on my Chick-fil-A app, then go and buy stuff, but still only use that in an emergency situation. Because as soon as you use it for like a regular situation, the next day or 2 days later, you're gonna be wanting some more Chick-fil-A or wanting to go eat out somewhere else. Okay, so only still use that in emergency situations. All right. Still Rock says, yep. Them frozen lemonades, I know. They are so good. And then they got the new lemonade that I had tried too. And then Still Rocks also says, my wife always buying cleaning products that she sees online. She's just trying to keep the house clean though. I can't fault her for that. I can't fault her for that. She's just trying to improve your home. That's all. But yes, so go ahead, uninstall the money spending apps from your phone for restaurants, for stores, all that kind of stuff, especially if you're really going to be tempted. And with that being said, go ahead and create your meal plan for the week, okay? And before you do your meal plan, because sometimes we're like, oh, I got a taste for this, oh, I got a taste for that, or whatever. Before you do that meal plan, go ahead and see what you already have, like in your refrigerator, in your deep freezer, that's already in your pantry that you can use, and just go ahead and get it all thawed out and everything so that you can cook it for the week, instead of you coming up with, ooh, I really got a taste for this. No, you better go see what's in that refrigerator already, or what's already in your pantry, and use that, okay? And then I mentioned before, go ahead and grocery shop the week ahead. But when you grocery shop, make sure you're not overspending for the week where you won't be able to spend any money. And also with meal prepping, this is why I forget to bring my lunch. I don't meal prep, but sometimes I'll have leftovers and stuff like that. And even when I have leftovers, I don't always bring it to lunch the next day, only because I don't plan for it. Like I don't factor in any time for me to get the meal together, for me to make a little plate or anything like that. So if you are going to meal prep, or you have leftovers from like the night before, and you're like, oh, I could take this to lunch, go ahead and designate the time that you are actually going to either meal prep or pack up that lunch, because it never fails. You're like, oh yes, this was so good, I'm gonna eat this for lunch the next day. But the next morning you already running behind, and now you're like, I don't even have time to kind of put everything in a little box and bag it up and everything. So make sure you're designating time to meal prep or plan out your lunches or your meals for the next day, so that you're not tempted to spend when you are out. Okay, so set aside time for that. The eighth thing I have for you so you can have a successful no spend week is to avoid shopping stores and malls. Don't even go in there. Don't even go in there because you're gonna be tempted to spend. Like today, I was tempted to actually go to a store, just check it. I didn't want nothing. I just want to see what new stuff they might have had in there and just kind of browse around. But I told myself, no, you don't need. I said you don't need anything. We don't need to go there. There's nothing that we need to be bringing back to the house. So just avoid stores, shopping centers, and malls so that you're not tempted to spend. Instead, what I want you to do is the ninth thing, try to look for free events for the week of your no spend challenge. So go ahead and start looking the week prior for things that you can do without spending money. You might be surprised what you can find in your community, especially with the weather getting nice. Things, temperatures are warming up. There might be little events going on that you can partake in. They might even have food and stuff that is free, maybe, I don't know, that you can get while you're attending the event. So look into that the week prior so you can kind of plan ahead, plan your schedule. And also, if it is an event that possibly has food, that will also help you with your meal prepping because now you're like, oh, well, they're going to have some refreshments. So I don't have to cook dinner this particular night, or I don't have to make as big of a meal for dinner this particular night because I can grab some light refreshments from this particular event that I'm going to. So just keep that in mind. Now, the 10th thing I have for you to have a successful no spend challenge is to share the challenge with other people. Share what you're doing with other people. And the reason for that is one, so that these people can help hold you accountable to your challenge and to the goal that you have committed to yourself. The second thing why I want you to share it with other people is that it also lets people know what you're doing so that they're not tempted to get you to spend money, So inevitably, like with your friends, family, and stuff like that, they might be like, oh, let's go out to eat or something like that. And you be like, no, I got the no spend challenge. So that they're already aware of it. And that way they don't feel bad about, suggesting something. So let other people know. It also might encourage other people to join in the challenge and do it with you. Now, if you do have like regular get-togethers with friends or family members, like every night, not every night, like every week, or every weekend, you and your girls always hang out, or you and your friends always hang out, or you and your spouse or your significant other always go out to eat, or a family member, y'all have like an event where y'all go out to eat or something like that, consider doing something that does not involve money, okay? Whether that is y'all have a game night instead, whether y'all have like a movie night at home, whether y'all cook at home, something like that, where you're not spending money. So that is another benefit of sharing it with other people so that y'all can be on the same page and on one accord when it comes to this no spend challenge, which just further reduces your temptation to spend, and also so you don't feel like you're missing out on anything as well. Okay, so let other people know that you're doing the no spend challenge. And that's why you also need to have a why, because they might be like, why, girl, why are you doing that? Why are you not spending money? And you can tell them, because I am working on my financial goals, and the money that I'm saving is going to help me take my trip to, I don't know, the Bahamas or whatever it is. Okay. And then they be like, oh, okay. So now they're on board with it. So that's also why I told y'all to have a why. Okay. So let me see how we're doing on time. All right. We're doing okay on time. Only have a couple more, three more to go over with you. Now, I told you to leave your credit cards, your debit cards at home. Tip number 11, I would suggest use your gift cards instead of money. So if you have gift cards from stores or someone gifted you, especially like during the holidays, if you haven't already spent up all your gift cards and stuff, use those. But I would still say use them in an emergency situation, or use them to kind of celebrate if you made it all the way to the end of the week or Friday or Saturday. Then you might use a gift card to spend money, or going back to like if your friends or family have like a standing thing that y'all do at the end of the week or on the weekend or a certain day of the week, use those gift cards if you know that you're going out and might potentially spend money. So keep that in mind. And another thing I'm going to add that I have also done in the past. So if the no spend challenge actually coincides with an event that you know has already been planned, it's been planned months or weeks ahead of time, and you know that you are going to need to spend money at this particular event or this particular function, go ahead and set a budget for what you want to spend. Okay, so I have done that before when I've done some of my no spend challenges. Maybe there was somebody's birthday that was that week, or maybe I knew I was going to go out of town or go to a specific event. So if that happened and it coincided with my no spend week, what I would do is I would set a limit and be like, okay, I know I got this event coming up, or I'm only going to spend $100 when I go to this event. Or I know I have this party, this birthday party I need to go to. I'm only going to spend, $30 on getting them a gift or something like that. So set a budget if you do know, hey, I have this thing that was planned way in advance during the no spend challenge. Let me go ahead and allocate what I'm willing to spend on that, so you're not spending frivolously, or just not consciously spending. Okay, now the 12th thing I have, the 12th and 13th thing, they're going to kind of go hand in hand, is number 12 is make sure you track your spending impulses. What do I mean by that? So when you're tempted to spend, I want you to ask yourself why you want this item, or why you want to spend money, and ask yourself, is it an emotional expense, or are you spending money because you're hungry and you just had poor planning for bringing your lunch? That is usually why I'm guilty of that. I'm usually spending money because I did not plan accordingly, and now I'm hungry, and now I got to run and get something to eat quickly for lunch, even when I'm trying to maybe go to a place that is more budget friendly or whatever, but that budget friendly place is further away from another place where I can easily run into, but I'm going to spend twice as much or whatever. So ask yourself, is this an emotional expense, or like you had a bad day and now you're just spending money to kind of cheer yourself up, or you had a good day and now you're spending money because you want to celebrate and you're feeling so good? Is it an emotional expense that you're doing, or are you spending because you're hungry and you just didn't plan well? Or I'm also guilty of this next one. Did you overbook your schedule and now you have to like grab a meal on the go? Because you running from this thing to that thing and all the things, and you didn't even take time to like pack a snack or pack a lunch, or figure out how you're going to eat at the end of the day. So start looking at what causes you to spend money on non-essential items and try and get to the root cause of it and everything. And the last and final thing I have is to track your spending habits. With that one, you would look retrospectively. So before the challenge, you want to look at like your bank statement, at the very least for the past month. But I highly recommend you look at it for the past 3 months. But at the very least, look at it for the last month and see what reoccurring expenses are coming out of your bank account from your debit card, or what is on your credit card statement. What are these reoccurring purchases? What is the theme that is showing up in your purchases and in your spending habits? Like, is it food? Excuse me. Is it entertainment? Is it buying clothes? What are you spending money on each month that is not an essential thing? Like, it's not your mortgage, it's not your rent, it's not your utilities, it's not gas. What is it that you're continuously spending money on? Okay, so start tracking your spending habits. And also, when you do the spending challenge, look at, what did I learn from the spending challenge by not spending money? Is there certain habits that I need to change? Are there certain habits that I need to lean more into, like I did really well in, and I should keep practicing that? Or are there some habits that I need to give up and let go of because they are not serving me or my wallet very well? Okay, so just keep that in mind. So real quick, I am going to do a recap of the no spend challenge. And now that y'all have heard some tips to help you have a successful one, I really and truly hope that you will join me on the no spend challenge on Sunday, April 13th to Saturday, April 19th. And if so, please, please, please put challenge accepted in the comments of this video if you plan on joining me. But let me do a quick recap of the tips. So tip number 1 was make sure you set clear rules for your challenge. Number 2 was to go ahead and plan in advance. Number 3 is know your why and set a goal for your no spend challenge. What do you want to achieve, or what are you saving this money for? 4 is leave your credit and debit cards at home. 5 is unsubscribe to subscriptions at least temporarily during this week. Number 6 was to go ahead and delete or uninstall money spending apps from your phone. 7 was create a meal plan for the week. 8 was avoid shopping stores, shopping centers, and malls. 9 was to look for free events for the week. 10, let people know about your no spend challenge. 11, use gift cards instead of money. 12, track your spending impulses. And lastly, number 13, track your spending habits. Okay. All right. So that's it. Real quick, I'll go over the church announcements. So we will be having the April book. I will announce the April book club either tomorrow or the following day. So you can join me in reading that book. And also, I'm interested if you have suggestions for books that you would like to see read as part of the book club, please just shoot me a message either on IG or in my email to let me know of a book that I should consider. Also, we'll be doing Side Hustle Saturday this Saturday, April the 5th, and I will post more information about the specific time. Of course, I will be live for Side Hustle Saturday. And as always, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And I hope to see you put challenge accepted in there, that you will be joining me on the No Spend Challenge April 13th through April 19th. All right. Until next time, guys, I hope you continue to enjoy the rest of your week and take care. Bye, guys.